Oh, I gotta say, I'm ready to record a lovely episode of Push the Point.
So,
That was a good clap today.
yeah, that was a good clap.
Nothing like a
Hamish might be
clap
speaking more about that later.
to wait.
Oh, yeah,
Started so strong. We started so strong.
Yeah.
Again, you'll find out, ladies and gentlemen, who are watching Push the Point, all about Hamish's escapades
I will pre-warn everyone.
in the city of. It's not really the city of sin, is it? Because that's New York City, is it?
Hamish has had a lot of stories on the podcast lately. I'm enjoying Hamish story time lately.
Yeah,
Hamish has had a story since episode 1.
This is true.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's amazing that he can keep it up.
We've spoken about that already. He's 35.
35.
I'm 35. I'm 35.
Thank you to everybody. We've had a lot of new listeners. I wanted to say something about that at the start, because you often talk at the end of the podcast. We often talk about like support and stuff, but we've had a lot of new listeners recently. I've been looking at the numbers on podcasting, the podcast sites and YouTube, and a lot more people are listening to Push the Point. And God knows why, but thank you so much.
I literally said this when I was in the Pro Tour in Amsterdam. So if you didn't know, there was a Pro Tour Amsterdam. Pro Tour Amsterdam was been on.
Amsterdam.
I've been to the Pro Tour Amsterdam. Yeah, that happened last week, and yeah, it was very humbling. Had a lot of people come up to me saying they love the podcast. Pretty much everyone I've played a game against said, by the way, cheers for the channel. And every single person I said, I have no idea why you like us, but thank you. I massively appreciate that.
How many new dice did you give out?
I gave them all away.
Fantastic.
They all
wouldn't
went.
expect anything less.
Only one guy came up to me and went, you gave me a dice.
20 dice.
What is it? And I went,
oh,
and I went, oh no, it's fine. I was like, this is our channel. And he went, oh, is it Flesh and Blood related? And I was like, yes, it is. And we're from the UK. And he was like, oh, cool. I'll check it out. Is it quite meta heavy? And I went, no, far from it.
Yeah. Have you heard
far
of
from
it?
I said far from it. But there's a lot of talk of men's health.
I do love the idea. I do love the idea that you would be giving out dice for your podcast at the Flesh and Blood Pro Tour Amsterdam.
Yeah,
and the podcast is not Flesh and Blood related in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just it's just current affairs.
Yeah, pretty much. I think a lot. Anyway, so we're not going to ramble on too on. Let's do some.
Should we do drinks? Because
drinks.
Like my cold beer.
Oh, let's do drinks.
Guys, it's very hot in the UK at the moment. It's over 30 degrees. So I know.
Oh, lucky for some.
Every time we bring this up and everyone's like, it's not very hot. Look, no one has air conditioning in the UK. We're not used to it.
For note, listeners, it's over 30 degrees in London, but not anywhere else.
Well, is it not 30 degrees where you are?
26 degrees here.
Oh, yeah, you're in the deepest, darkest north of Nottingham. So
that's not north.
Well, it's not.
I just want to point this out that Nottingham is not north at all.
It's in the Midlands for a reason.
If it's above the M25, it's north. That includes every angle.
That's the most London approach ever. Anything above London is the north. Anyway, well, that's true because I do live in Northampton.
Well, it is.
Right.
You're north. You got it in the name, mate. Anyway, let's drink a beer.
Let's drink a beer. Simon, kick us off.
Hamish, what are you drinking?
Well, Simon, I am drinking a Gaindinger.
Oh,
so Aaron Tristi from Iceland showed up. Lovely, lovely guy. Absolutely stunningly beautiful man. Right, he is
a beautiful man.
He is born. He was chiseled from Iceland gods from somewhere because he's got this big beard, big tash, muscly as hell. I was like, don't. If my wife was here, she would. She would go, see you later, fat boy, right? But this guy's...
Us Anglo-Saxons, we're having flashbacks to the bloody Vikings.
Coming over and stealing all of our beer. I don't know. Anyway, so he's kindly gave me a pack of beer. And I told him, I don't know whether I can get this in my case because I don't have luggage. I've got, carry cases and stuff. So I've got to drink pretty much all of them here. And he said, that's fine. But I then get a text message just at the end to say, I have to check my bags in because the flight is full. So I managed to save one, and I managed to
Oh.
save this one. Me and Mark did drink the rest, and they were all lovely. But this is a IPA. This is a product from Iceland, so this is an Icelandic beer, and it's a Secession IPA because the rest is all in what language does Iceland?
Icelandic.
Is it? I didn't want to just say Icelandic, like
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you. What about you, Simon?
I've gone ironic.
Oh shit!
In midsummer, in the hottest days of the year, with a hoppy Xmas beer.
Xmas beer.
Too bright. You can't see that. Yeah. It's a BrewDog one. I was gifted it recently.
In August.
So. I had a barbecue. People came over. They brought beer.
Oh, I don't want to interrupt you, Simon, but I've actually found that this can has an Icelandic version and an English name. It's called It's called Timeless Rider. So I was like, there you go. Anyway, sorry, Simon, I've interrupted you.
That's all right. I'm drinking a festive IPA that is 6%.
Oh,
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Well, yeah.
What about you, Tripp? Stick on.
4.6 minus.
Well, I'm drinking none other than a beer that was given to us by a friend of the podcast, Dale.
Oh, Dale. Bring it closer, Dale. Dale, Tripp.
It's Pistol. It's a collaboration between the Crawford Arms
from Milton Keynes
and Space Pistol. And he very kindly gave a can of all this to me, Hamish, and Si. IPA, classic.
Yeah.
Brewed in the UK, so very nice. 4.2%. Best served cold, and it is ice cold.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dale, and thank you everybody who talked to Hamish at the Pro Tour and gave him beer.
They did.
That you like the podcast. Very good to hear. I'm feeling good about it, to be honest.
Yeah, very. Heine gave me some beer as well. I apologise, Heine. Again, I wasn't sure if I could carry it, so I drank it.
So you drank it?
Yeah. Heine kept running up to me going, "I've got a beer," and I was like, "Oh, sweet."
Colour. It's a nice beer.
That is very light.
This is the trouble now. Is it's been 3 years. We're actually getting to a point now where people seem to know who we are. Yeah. We've always had people giving us beers, but I feel like we're getting to the point now where we might be getting a couple of people giving us beers. And if we travel, I very rarely get check-in. I very rarely check luggage in, but apparently they're getting rid of the 100 ml rule, so we might be in luck.
No, they're trying, aren't they? It depends on the airport at the moment. But the first person to give us beer was a Patreon, actually, Michael Popovich, and he came up to us at New Jersey Pro Tour and gave us some beers, which we drank while we were drafting Arcane Rising. That was fun.
Yeah,
it's a really nice beer, Dale.
Oh, well done.
Classic.
Should we do some promo?
I think we should talk about promo, patrons, and
bloody hell! I've got to do the wheel.
The 3 Ps.
Oh god, he ain't done the bloody wheel.
So behind the scenes, we're not recording this on Monday because Hamish was still getting the plane back from Amsterdam. So it's a bit of a weird one for us because we're doing this.
We're doing this the day before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I've got to edit this later tonight because I've got to go into the office tomorrow.
Interesting.
Oh no, Hamish in the office.
Yeah, I know. Hamish working.
You're working in the office tomorrow.
I always work in the office Friday.
Right, wheel's been spun, guys. So if you want to,
we want to do. Okay, he's done the wheel.
Yeah, he's done the wheel. He's done the wheel. Who's the winner?
Wow. Can I get a...
Oh yeah. Okay. So welcome to the Wheel of Time. All right.
It never gets old.
Boom. Oh, God's
sake. It's
sake.
Craig Johnson, everybody.
Hey! Well done.
We will get your packs, which I believe is now... Simon, remind me what the packs are currently.
We are on 3 packs of Crucible of War Unlimited and 3 packs of Everfest.
Nice.
Everfest, very good pack. Crucible was a classic pack of Flesh and Blood.
Pretty good with Rosetta coming out. Some Runeblade cards in there and some Wizard cards in there.
So for those that don't know, if you're a Push the Point patron, however, £3, £5 a month, however much you can afford, you get entered into a lucky spin every episode, and we give away 6 packs of Flesh and Blood just off our own backs. We just give them out. we just bought the boxes and we give them away.
Yeah.
But that's not all they get, Hamish, is it? There's a bunch of other benefits for being a Push the Point.
Absolutely. We've got 3 awesome partners we work with. First one is Thistle Tavern, a Scottish shingle sheller from Aberdeen. He basically sells lots of singles from lots of different card games online. They've recently opened up a store over in Aberdeen as well. So if you're in that area and you want to check out Flesh and Blood or just check out your new LGS, go head over there. But if you're a Push the Point patron, you get 10% off your singles, not sealed products, just the singles from any of the games they have on offer. So go check it out, thistleandtavern.com, link below. We've also got Metal Fab Tokens, which is a token partner. Again, they do lots of different variety of games. I have a collection of their stuff as well, like a slightly distributor thing. So we can get these tokens out to the UK for Royal Mail prices. So yeah, you can check out the website. There's a UK tab on there, and you can get some stuff on that. Patrons get to know if new stuff come out early, so they can make their orders before I tell everyone live. And we've also got PCG as well, an amazing Flesh and Blood grading company, and they basically do a voucher system where if you for example are a £3 patron, you get a £3 voucher once a month. That basically gets up to a 3-month period, which is a quarter, and you can use your voucher to discount on your next grading effectively. And then after the end of the quarter, it just resets. So if you're £3 or £5, it's basically free.
You get your patron money back if you spend it at PGC. So it's basically free to be a Push the Point patron if you use that voucher every quarter. So we're very lucky to have such strong supporters of Push the Point who allow us to give back to the people who financially support what we're doing, which is fantastic. We're all kind of in this together. The game of Flesh and Blood, we're all sort of, small companies or medium-sized companies, creators trying to help each other out. So we support them and they support us. So thank you very much to all the people that have provided those benefits to the Push the Point patrons and everybody that supports the channel.
Cool. Thank you very much. Let's do some home news. Home news.
Should we do a bit of home news?
Home news. Home news. Right. Okay. So,
are you going to go first, Hamish, or have you got a yarn to?
I feel like Hamish's home news is. Well, do you want to do Pro Tour home news or do you want to do non-Pro Tour?
Do you guys? Yeah, because I don't know. I think I've got a bit to say. Right.
And I feel like yours goes into a conversation about the Pro Tour, which is what we're going to do next. So maybe we should end with you.
End with me.
So,
Tripp.
Simon, why don't you?
Oh no, Simon then.
Simon.
Simon.
Whoa.
All right. Well, I do have a bit of home news because. Do you remember when I spoke to you about the lasagna bake-off?
Oh,
I teased you.
Yeah.
We all know.
Cheesecake bake-off.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
Did you do it?
We have now had the cheesecake bake-off.
Oh, my God. How many participants?
12 cheesecakes.
12 cheesecakes.
How big were the cheesecakes?
The 23 centimeter, like
a proper,
a proper full-size cheesecake. I'm not. I won't.
Go on.
Yeah. No word of a lie.
Yeah.
No word of a lie. Some of these look like professional shop cheesecakes. They were amazing.
Okay. Right. So again, did the person who got dished out the first cheesecake, were they the winner?
No, don't.
So we did it. So we
reveal it. First, I want to hear about your cheesecakes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay. I want you I want to save the winners to the end. But first, I want you to tell us about what you made.
In terms of how the event went, we learned from the lasagna bake-off. So it wasn't like dished up and handed out to people. The cheesecakes were judged on appearance, so they were all like lined up on a table. You could walk around, have a look at them.
That's
bit like
fair. I like
show,
that.
Yeah. And each one had a slice out of it, so you could sort of judge the texture and the integrity of how a slice looked.
Okay, this seems like you guys learned from last time.
We did. We learned from last time.
Good.
So all of them had. I actually took a slice out of each one of them for consistency. So like what the same person did, a slice from all of them, and then we were allowed to taste each one like in order, any order you wanted. So it was random order. You had a plate. You could go and dish yourself up a little bit and carry on.
Okay, cool. So
our cheesecake was made by my wife, Nikki. I did the lasagna. Nikki did the cheesecake, and she had a vision.
Okay,
Oh
wait.
no,
I
Simon, come
immediately,
back.
I immediately sensed some tension there. So there's a little bit of tension there.
So
She had a vision.
If it
Television.
had been me, I would have done something far too.
Oh, sorry. And then if it had been
If it had been me, it would have
and
been
then the
better.
follow up with if it had been me,
Yeah.
Right.
I would have done
No,
it.
in a
Okay.
good way. Because if it had been me, I would have gone for something far too safe, and I would have got shoved down the leaderboard. Right.
Oh.
Nikki had a vision, and she did a cheesecake called Creatures of the Deep. So she found this recipe.
Cool name.
called Creatures of the
That's
Deep.
great
Cool
name.
name.
And it was a lime and blueberry cheesecake on an Oreo base
Oh, that sounds actually pretty good.
with a layer of lime jelly. And in the lime jelly were some like jelly sweet snakes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so it looked great. And then when you cut it open, there was a pool of blueberry coulis in the middle of the cheesecake, so it dribbled out when you cut it open.
Okay.
But there was some theatrics to it. It was quite a.
I like it.
I like
That
it.
sounds like my kind of cheesecake.
showpiece.
I'm not digging the sound of the taste. Not my particular palette
yeah,
of
that's fair.
flavor. Not
Yeah,
my
I like
particular,
that.
but
Fruity
it's
cheesecake.
not my particular palette of flavors. But the execution and the presentation sounds top notch.
It looked brilliant. To be fair, we did
I
one
like the idea
practice
of the
run.
green and blue together.
Yeah.
Lime and blueberry. Yeah.
That's a really well thought through cheesecake. Okay, that's yours. Where did it land?
We came fifth.
Oh my days!
Top half of the
Doubled it.
table though.
Doubled
Not in the not in the medal
that's
rankings.
about as most Simon Flesh and Blood tournament result I've ever heard.
So there were 20 points between fifth and first,
Yeah.
and there were 5 points between third and first.
Oh,
Out of a total
wow.
of 600. Out of a total of 600 points
600
per.
cheesecake. No, sorry.
Yeah.
okay, so I'm not bothered about the rest. Just tell me briefly about the first place. What did they do? That yours sounded pretty gas, to be honest.
First place was a tiramisu-based cheesecake. So they had a layer of like coffee cream and a layer of chocolate ganache, and then a biscuit base.
That wouldn't.
It was very.
That wouldn't.
It was very
score
rich,
for me.
but it wasn't to my. It wasn't like I like a
Wait.
tiramisu, but it wasn't my favorite cheesecake.
Is that a cheesecake?
They made
That's-
it a cheesecake.
Sounds
It was
like a tiramisu with a
No,
crust. to
it,
me,
it
Simon.
did have cream cheese in it.
Mm.
But you're right. It was a bit on the edge. The ganache was very rich.
These guys
My-
what were they? Sharking, or what's it called? Or
My
or-
personal
or
favourite,
just playing on the edge bit.
was second place actually,
Yeah.
and that was a pina colada themed cheese.
Now that sounds fancy. I like
So
like
rum infused cream cheese cheesecake bit with a pineapple and coconut like jelly on the like a coulis on the top. Yeah.
I don't think it's all right. Okay, so far none of them sound like
Hamish would have liked the third place one, I think,
Which
is
is?
Kinder Bueno.
Yeah. Oh my
Kinder Bueno
god.
cheesecake.
Dale would scream right now because the club knows I am fully addicted to Kinder Bueno.
It's a
Kinder
good
was
treat.
number
What can I
3.
say?
Kinder
It's very
Bueno
tasty.
is
Yeah.
is an S tier chocolate. Like, comment below if you your S tier
And
chocolate.
Hamish, it had it was a Kinder Bueno flavored like cheesecake mix, and then it had Kinder Bueno chunks around the edge on the top, but also through the middle.
Oh, winner.
And this came third.
It was very good.
Oh, that'll win. Right, we're 20 minutes in. Tripp. That sounds cool.
Well,
Sorry to cut you off.
Well, I was in Amsterdam, but I wasn't at the fruit.
Oh, for God's sake.
When did you leave Amsterdam?
So I left on the Saturday. So
you could have went.
I could have gone.
And you could have went to the keynote.
And you know what I said? I'm gonna hang out with Kate. I'm not gonna make Kate go to the pro tour. We had a great old time.
That was poor meta choices.
And I loved it. I love
Joking.
Amsterdam. It's a great city. It's like London, but not as messy and
That's what I said.
like a cleaner version of London.
I said it's what London wants to be.
There's no cars, there's barely any cars, you can walk everywhere. It's amazing. You
I've
can
still not been.
Have you not?
crash. Oh, it's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
It's great. It's got everything. It's got the touristy bit. It's got the old school bits. It's got like history. It's got museums. It's got fun people, fun places, fun things to do, great food. Oh my god, the food in Amsterdam is amazing.
No,
And
I
also
actually debate that.
oh, that's because you don't like spice, mate. I don't really hate you.
All right.
It's got great food, guys.
Okay.
Hey, doesn't like paprika, which isn't brown over here because it's too spicy. So
No, I don't
just
mind paprika.
it's a bit spicy in it, mate.
No, like Netherlands
I don't
food.
mind
Netherlands,
on you.
no, the Netherlands food is a bit mid. I'm not gonna
Well,
lie.
you're not eating Dutch food. That's the thing about Amsterdam.
Honestly, right?
It's like London. You eat any
Cosmopolitan
food you
city,
want.
though.
One of the Dutch waiters said, "Would you like to have an original, like Dutch shot?" And I went, "Sure."
Oh, did you have Jennifer?
Yeah, they gave me it.
Oh, that's legit.
No,
That's
no, it's
great.
not. I turned around and
I
went,
bet you
"This
they
is
gave it.
Is it a herbal liqueur? Like
No, it's what they used before gin. So we
Ah.
nicked it and turned it into gin, but it was
Okay.
originally this
right."
spirit
Well,
called Jennifer.
well,
And it's amazing.
No,
stuff.
it's not. I took a shot and I
You
went, "This
fill
is."
it up the shot glass up to the foot. They make a little bubble over the
a
top.
little meniscus on top.
And you have to sip the bubble, and then before you do the shot.
Oh,
It's
well,
great.
okay. Well, I
Yeah.
took a sip and I drank it and I went, "This is crap." No offense. And she went, "Yeah, isn't it awful?"
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Dutch,
'cause you
even
don't
the
get it-
Dutch, even
you
said, "Yeah,
don't get
isn't it
it-
awful?"
It's because you get it like the flavored ones.
Well, then they
so
turn
there's a
around, then they
bar,
turned around
yeah.
and made a flavored thing. And I went, "Oh, that's actually really nice."
Yeah, so I took Kate to this bar where you all they do is these shots, and we got like a cherry one. I got a cherry one. She got like a ginger one, and the flavor's amazing. But that also happened to me, Hamish. First time we went to Amsterdam, was the guy at the bar was like, "You guys want a Jennifer shot?" And we were like, "Oh yeah," and we all had it. And we were like,
This is
Oh.
terrible.
I was 12. I was 12 beers in, and unfortunately, not rudely, but loudly said, "This tastes like paint stripper."
Tastes like white spirit.
Oh, it's not good. Anyway,
The
so
flavored ones are great.
so
But anyway, I won't talk about it too much, but I had a lovely time with Kate. It's like a lovely holiday. Yeah, great food in Amsterdam, great brunches. If you like Australian brunch or New Zealand style brunch, like good solid food. Got Korean fried chicken. That was amazing. Went to my favorite restaurant in Amsterdam. It's called Tacos and Tequila. That do tacos and tequila, and it's fantastic. My favorite place. And it was great.
tacos and tequila, the most Amsterdam thing I've ever heard.
It's a cosmopolitan city.
That's the thing. You get whatever you want.
Street waffle, that's
Great
legit.
apple pie. Oh, street waffles.
Street
apple
waffles are
pie,
legit.
That's great. Good beers. All the beers are like 6% for some
No.
reason. I don't really understand why.
No, the
they're
beers were
deadly.
also mid.
Beers are
Why has
strong.
Hamish started talking like
He's a young man now. He's picking
a
up
young
for me.
man?
Mid.
No,
He's been hanging out with young folk at the.
I've also got a 14-year-old son, so you know I'm up to date.
And before Hamish gets onto his story, I'm just going to throw it out there again. I'm going to be at the London Craft Beer Festival on the Saturday the 10th during the daytime. And if any fans of Push the Point, I'm going to take my dice with me that Hamish has given all his away. So if anyone comes up to me and says Push the Point is amazing, then I'll give you a dice.
Heads up, James Adam wants a dice of you, so save him one.
Also, if you go up to Simon and say Push the Point is shit, he'll also give you a dice.
Yes.
Because at least
I'll give you a dice.
At least
and then I'll kick you in the nuts. Yeah.
If you say that means we know you listen. Yeah. Okay. So
Absolutely.
Right. But that was
Hamish,
it. I want to hear about Hamish.
I've heard a lot of what happened from other sources.
I don't think. Do we need to give a warning? We need to tell people. You're going to hear some tales.
I think there might be some spicy content.
You might not want to listen to this one with your kids in the car. I'm just saying. We try to keep it PG-13 on Push the Point.
35.
He's 35, but he's going to lay down some truth. So
Right.
you're going to hear some stuff. So switch off now or get ready to. This is like Push the Point After Dark coming up right now.
No, I'll turn it down a bit, but just as I'll try and turn it down a bit, but I can't promise. So just for the safety of everyone, skip the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right, and then I might trap you because I might kick in 10 minutes later, and then you'll be like, the worst bit shows up. Right. Anyway, so my home news. I went to Amsterdam, stopped with Mark Henderson, lovely guy, one of our good fab friends that used to live in London, and he was also the amazing chap that made the Draft Fab website as well before it was
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah, I stopped around his. He lives over that end. And yeah, I had a wonderful time hanging out with lots of amazing fans of the game. Had lots of debates with some of the dudes from Runaway Podcasts, from Yanji and Lucas Oswald. Yeah, he came up to me, young lad, giving the beef, telling us how the UK kind of sucks, and I was like, yeah, that's all good. It's all good. No arguments here.
Oh, we're allowed to say it, but
yeah, I was no, I don't.
But you come from outside the UK.
I have to say they're very, very, very passionate about the 4th of July. Still, they still kind of they still kind of go, yeah, we kicked your ass. And I'm like, yeah, you weren't even, your dad or your granddad wasn't even thought of at that time. So, a long time ago for a 16-year-old to be very passionate about something that no one cares about.
We did also burn the White House down in 1812, which is always a good one to.
Boo.
So it goes.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Anyway,
now we're best friends. We're best pals.
I know.
France, England, and America. Get on.
Yeah. No, it was good fun. Met loads of different fans. Lots of them give me beer. I hung out with Brandon from Metal Fab Tokens quite a bit, and Yorgos. Had some dinner with him as well. Now I'll cut to the chase. Right. I'll cut to the chase. Oh, one quick shout out. Joshua Scott is my new top tier best. Oh, my dude, the dude is the most best guy I've ever met. Right? He, for LSS, I mean, all of them are lovely. All of them are lovely. But I don't know. When you just connect with someone and you're just like, I've got so much time for this guy.
Is there a little young romance brewing here?
I don't know, but he gave me chocolate. He literally showed up. He had 9 bars of New Zealand Whittaker's chocolate.
Oh, right.
And he gave me one. And I was like, why? And he went, we were just talking about Flesh and Blood, we were talking about Judge Rules, talking about this. And it was just literally come from, we both love the game. Anyway, so Josh Scott is like my fave.
People in Fab are pretty great.
Was this in the venue, Hamish, or was this
in the venue?
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't. And also Alex as well. Shout out to Alex, your old pal Alex. He's also top tier. Very cool. Very easy to talk to as well. Right, let's get on with it. So I hung out with Brandon. Brandon kind of said to me, hey, should we, I'm up for, and I said, I'm kind of up for a bit of Red Light District, right?
So just one sec, because Brandon took us out for dinner in Barcelona.
Yes.
Brandon from Metal Fab Tokens. What a guy. He's just super chill.
What a guy. This guy.
Just super chill and extremely generous with his time. So he took you out on the town, did he?
Well, yeah. So he's.
Well, explain. Do people know about tell us about Amsterdam's red light district?
Maybe the red light district needs a bit of explanation.
Because it's not. It's kind of a bit touristy, right? It's part of the city, and it's very close to the central station, right? It's like the oldest. As I learned from my boat tour, which is a bit more PG-13 than Hamish's. It's the oldest street in Amsterdam. There you go.
Yeah, it looks it.
Yeah.
and the people in it, they look a bit worn.
Oh God!
Oh God, indeed.
This is the episode. We've had a good run.
This is it. Episode 78. It's over. No, so hung out with Brandon, and he brought along his friend Jeremiah as well. Lovely dude from Team Metal Fab Tokens. So yeah, they were saying let's go to the red light district. I was like, yeah, I'm up for it. And then we went for some Korea barbecue. And as we were sitting down, I was feeling a little bit guilty. I had a bit of guilt kicking in because I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm up for going, but by the way, to see a show, no handsy business, right? No. Just to be very, very, very clear, I wanted to go.
You're not partaking yourself.
No,
it's basically cabaret, right? You're not getting involved.
No, I'm going to.
It's European, right?
Yeah. I wanted to go see a sex show, right? I want to see the action. I want to see the nuts. Yeah, literally. And I don't want to be.
Why that? Why focus on that?
He's trying to tell us something.
But it is nuts.
It's okay, dude.
It was kind of nuts.
I love that. That's that. You're like, I don't care what I see, but that's what
Want to see the
that will
nuts.
make it real.
Yeah,
If
I want to
I
see. I want to see the nuts. Anyway, so I felt bad, so I gave Faye a message and said, "Look, are you cool with me going to this?" And then Brandon's like, "If you had to," and I said, "I feel bad. I don't want to feel like I've done something that
I
could
love
upset her."
that. I love that. You're such a good little boy.
I mean, I
Good
would
little
have
lad.
thought you would have checked before you went to Amsterdam.
What do you mean? You
No,
know, you never know
I
what's
didn't. I
gonna
wasn't gonna.
happen.
I didn't go to Pro Tour to go to the red light district. I went to Pro Tour to go to
True.
Pro Tour. The red light district is just
Extra.
Well, I didn't. It wasn't on my radar, and now it is. And
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
So I gave her a message, and she said, "No handsy business." I was like, "Absolutely not. What do you take me for?" And she went, "No, okay.
He's
I guess
35.
I'm 35. I couldn't help her if I tried." And so I said, "I just want to see this. I just need to see this stuff." And she went, "Yeah, that's cool." Off we go. Hop, skip, and a jump.
It was you wanted the experience.
Oh,
Right?
you got to go
Like,
once. You gotta go once.
Mate,
All right,
yeah, sure.
I am gonna. So we went around. We did a little bit of research trying to find out what's good. We ended up at the Moulin Rouge, right? €50.
$50.
50.
Okay, yeah.
50 euros. I'm telling you now, right? This isn't this isn't a dig on LSS. This isn't a dig on their thing, but I have to say that the Moulin Rouge that was some high EV for €50. I'm not gonna lie. That was some high EV. I spent €70 at the calling and got 1-4. I am now going to spend €50 on a 20-minute wild ride, and it was.
I love that you're comparing
Look at his
calling.
face as
Oh,
well.
I was telling Josh Scott, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, the EV of this show was pretty high. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, so we went in. It was kind of like hustly, you know. The guy's like, "Oh, you want to come in? You want to come in? You come in." We're like, "Yeah, go on then, let's go in." Right, you pay there. So we paid our €50, and he went, "Right, now go wait outside." So we did wait outside, and then this tour guide guy with like loads of clearly like early 20-year-old like girls and men, like all like it's about 30 of them, all just came round, and he went, "Hey, do you want to go in?" And they all went, "Yeah, let's all go in." They're all Australian for some reason as well.
Oh, it's like a tour.
Yeah, it was like a tour. So he just toured all these people in. Every one of them, bing, 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 paid $50, and then they all go straight in. We had to wait exactly for quarter to 9, and live tonight at the Moulin Rouge, 2 strip teasers and 2 sex shows. I was like, this is what I'm paying. I'm in. That's what I'm here to see. I'm not here to see strip teasers. I'm here to see like the full.
Yeah, I love how specific you are.
I know.
Like you've got your notepad, and you're like, not interested. You've got your like to-do list.
I have my to-do list. I didn't come here to see
someone's
show.
nuts.
Tick.
Tick.
I was learning a lot. I was like, oh, I went into the toilet and I was like, what does this hole do? Peek through and no, I'm joking.
You're such an innocent lad. From Kettering. Out in
Pink eye from a glory hole.
Out in the
pink eye
out
from
in
the
real world.
pink eye from the white guy.
Eyes bigger than your stomach.
Anyway, so I was like, no, definitely 100% paying €50. They're like, oh, I don't know. I said, look, pay. We're going in. I want to see this shit. So off we go. In we get. And then there is a small room, a really small room, stage with a pole in it. We get funneled into the side. There's a bar right in front of us, and this bar is like in the middle of the room. So we're sitting on a little bar stool, and there are women there just serving us all up drinks. First act comes on. Okay, here's the striptease. Woman comes on, little jacket. She's spinning around a pole. Normal stuff, right? Stuff you probably would have seen in the movies.
Normal.
Not normal.
I know.
Normal men.
No, but like so you're sitting there going, oh,
I mean, we were at Hamish's house. We know he's got a strip pole in the lounge. So
do we?
Do we? Where? Wait.
I'm joking. He's calling it normal stuff.
No, but anyway.
I thought I missed something there. So I was like,
do we?
did we?
Play along, Tripp.
Play along. Anyway, so I went there. So we've seen some normal stuff. The woman's sitting there going, ooh, you know, all getting all woobly boobly. And then spinning around the pole. And then she brings this guy on, right? The guy's coming on. And then again, she's going woobly around him. And everyone's like, woo. And then she said, lay down. Lays on the ground, right? By the way, skip the next 2 minutes if you're squeamish.
Yeah, if you've just come back after 10 minutes, we're still going.
Yeah,
so
another 10
It
minutes.
is literally dead on 10 minutes.
Yeah.
it's literally 10 minutes.
Another 10 minutes. Okay, so
jump ahead.
Okay,
we'll get to the flesh and I should say.
We're getting to the flesh and blood.
We'll get to
We are definitely going to the flesh and
game.
blood. Okay, let me just get to the point. You're making this longer. Anyway, lays the guy down.
That's what she said.
Lays the guy down. Bra comes off. Pants come off. And you're all going, woohoo, there it is. And then, just when you thought, all right, fair enough, the guy's just laying there, she says, oh, lift your top up a little bit. And we're like, all right. I'm kind of sitting there going, all right, fair enough. Bam. UV felt tip pen. Bam. Lid goes off. Bam. Pen goes in. She squats down right sexy on his chest.
Amazing.
We were like this.
Amazing.
I was like, yes.
The control.
No, she didn't. Clearly, she was holding it as well. And I just went, why don't you just write it at this point, right? And I was like screaming, and I went, okay, this is already like hilarious. I'm having a great time. So that's the first act. Okay, woohoo! That was just Act 1. That happened. Act 2. Now this was sad. This was a sad one.
Oh no!
So woman comes on, right? Looks like don't look like my mum, but looks like her mum.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, Hamish.
She's got this leathery black dress on. She does not want to be there. Like a face like she is picking the spaghetti that was left in the dishwasher sort of face. You know, like, I don't want to be here. You know. And off she goes. She gets a whip and she's like this. Duh. Could do it. Like straight leg, no, nothing. Like, oh my God. I'm like, is this tease? This is kind of, ugh. I felt sorry for her. And then all of a sudden, bam! Tempo hits up. Dude comes out. Leather jacket with chains on it. Like, you know, pure, like, energy. And then Rammstein starts kicking into place. Like, and you're like, whoa, what the?
He's happy because he's seeing the nuts.
Yeah, well,
she's happy because of Rammstein's on, man.
I was just like that. I was like, wow, this is here we go. Bam, change her up. Bam, here we go. Trousers comes down and off we go. Right? That's the PG bit. And you're kind of going like, oh. Okay, fair enough. There was some extra stuff going on there. But it was kind of sad. She just didn't want to be there. Anyway, so moving on.
Oh,
But it was only weird because he was just going like...
She's getting paid well for it, hopefully.
I don't know.
I don't know. She's got a face like she ain't getting paid enough for this. But anyway, so that happened. That was our first time I've seen two people getting it on. They both look like parents, and one of them don't want to be there. So that was my first time seeing someone do it live. I was like, oh, okay. The third act comes on, right? Now, this was the best one. This one was like 100% the best one. She is full of energy. The music's going like, bum, 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 and she's like got all this. She's, you know, everything's large, right? Large life, large everything. She's going around the pole. She's like whipping around the pole. And then all of a sudden she just grabs two dudes and a girl from the stage. And then she proceeds to smack every single one of them in the face with her boobies, right? It was nutso. And one of the guys was looked like me, bit bigger than me, bald head, like massive face. He looks like a jolly old man, right? And he got pelted to bits by like her boobs, was just whacking him in the face and everything. And we're sitting there going, what the hell is going on? And then all of a sudden, she says to him, get on your knees. He gets on his knees. She hooks her leg round the back of his head. Her bum is right in his face and proceeds to smash his head into her ass. I was like, I am in heaven right now. I do not know what is going on. I'm ordering another beer.
For real.
It was surreal. That's what I signed up for. I signed up for some shit and I got it. I got it in spades. I'm already feeling like I'm 70 euros up at this point. Second act was pretty bad, but this act, man, this was the 50 euro act for sure. And yeah, loads of other stuff went on, and then she put a banana out. You know, you can probably see where this is going. Yeah.
Well, I got at least something to the imagination of the push the point listener. You can't spell it out in complete detail.
No. Well, the people who I spent time with Amsterdam got the full detail, and they were screaming with laughter. All right, and then the last act was pretty much a sex show. There were two people, and that was like a bit more passionate, and that one was what I was expecting it to be, and I was kind of like, oh yeah. I feel like I got it all. I got something rubbish. I got something weird. I got something wild, and I got something. I got what I wanted. Yeah. So that was that.
Wow.
I turned to Brandon, and I had an amazing time because all these Australian lads behind me. It's like, crikey! Look at the sort. Oh, he's ripping into her, and all that sort of stuff. I was just like, this
Aussie
is
man commentary behind him.
God, bloody hell!
It's like there's an Aussie in the room. What can I say?
Hey, it's coming from you. Tried to do Scottish about not long.
Yeah, well, that was better than that.
Anyway, that happened. That was the show. There's a lot more detail. You'll have to come and find me one day at an event, and I'll tell you the more in detail one. But that's what happened. It was funny as all hell. I was in heaven. The other two guys, Brandon and everyone, they had a good time, but I think they wanted different things. Me, I didn't know what I was getting.
You wanted it to be weird.
I didn't want it to be weird. I just went in going, I don't know what. Like, when someone goes, well, I guess that happened. Some people don't like, I guess that happened. I flipping love it. I love it when I go, I guess that happened. That makes everything so much better. Right.
Well,
Jesus Christ, we are 40 minutes in. This is a
record.
Let's talk. Look, Amsterdam happened.
Actual flesh and blood.
You get everything on Push Point. We'll tell you the true tales, mainly from Hamish's life. So
the Hamish experience of Amsterdam.
It might not be something you want to do yourself, but now this is an insight into what goes on in the world, right? So and now you can live vicariously through Hamish.
You gotta go.
Just to clarify, you don't have to go.
You don't have to go.
Hamish, apart from the red light district, how was the Pro Tour?
The Pro Tour, yeah.
I feel like we can't. Like, it's so hard to follow. I feel like we need a breather after. I learned a lot. I was wide-eyed through that conversation. I was just like learning.
So was everyone else that I told the story to.
But I can imagine. Yeah. Right, let's reset and talk about a different kind of flesh and blood.
So Flesh and Blood happened. We have Shoma Yamamura from Japan, who took the whole thing down on Azuri.
What did we say about Azuri on the last episode of Push the Point? We said
not hot.
We said not hot, but we said you could do it.
Oh,
we did say
one quick thing. I did find Hot or Not Bar. That was actually good. That was actually good. Anyway, I didn't go in because it didn't look.
You were busy.
Didn't look great.
I had enough at that point.
We said there were some heroes that could do really well. We didn't think Azuri was going to be one of them ourselves, but we said, if you could do something with Azuri, and it turns out that's what happened.
Yeah,
and there were only 2 people that believed in Azuri.
Yeah, and he was one of them. And I don't know how he got there, but he did. And he obviously did incredibly well at draft, and he took down some great matchups to get there. Levi was there as well.
Yeah.
So, Bartosz was in again. Bartosz again. Bartosz again. Yeah. Second runner-up. Like, dude, 2 runner-ups. That's what, we should be really having a conversation about Bartosz at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we
have, but I think
Bartosz is an incredible player all the way through.
Yeah, 100%. But I think some, bit more credit worldwide needs to be given to this guy. 100%.
I found it really interesting afterwards that the Azuri matchup into Zen is so positive.
Oh, well, she's an assassin.
Yeah. And a matchup into Nu was quite good as well, right? So it was kind of like...
it's back and forth,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's back and forth. I think either side could get the edge on the other one. But I think when you watch those games, especially the first one, it was like a real slogfest either way. And then it just took the right turn. And then it just continued that momentum on. And once someone has got that avalanche momentum... It's not easy to stop at this point. And I think everyone experiences that when they play Assassin. Once they just move forward, you just lose hands and you don't do much back. It gets quite oppressive pretty quick.
And I guess Azuri has the advantage of being the off-meta deck that maybe people weren't testing into as much, while I feel like everybody who was serious about the Pro Tour was doing some heavy testing into new. Kind of, I'm sure they were practicing their new mirrors, but maybe weren't necessarily practicing their new into Azuri. Well, I'm sure the Azuri players were 100% trying to work out that matchup as well as they could. But like you said, Hamish, it was a bit of back and forth. It's not like a free win or anything.
No.
I think was feeling confident into those games, and the bracket fell very strangely in terms of all the Zens were basically on what it felt like all the Zens were on one side, all the News were on the other, and then we had an Enigma and a Victor and a Levia, I think it was.
It was basically Ninja and Levia, and then the other side was Assassin.
Yeah, it was crazy. But it was good to see Enigma up there, and it was good to see. I think it was Victor as well. Was around. Was it Victor? Yeah.
No, Victor was Victor got into the calling. So did and so did Jacob Clements as well.
Yeah, so it was three. It was three new. Yeah, it was Victor was in the calling, so it was three new, three Zen, Levia, and Azuri. Right.
That was the Pro Tour. Yeah.
And then the calling was two new, four. Sorry, Zen, one Enigma, and one Victor. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see the calling top 8 as well, because obviously the calling
all CC.
So interesting to see Victor, and I don't want to skip over the Pro Tour. We should talk about that a bit more. But it was interesting to see Victor and Enigma win out in that calling field.
When we said Azuri, we didn't think Azuri was hot, but she had a lot of potential. Like that hero ability is nuts. Like
the hero ability is really good.
It is incredible hero ability.
I think we just didn't give I think we just probably. I think we fell into that trap of, which I said, it's not new. New is the best assassin. So what's Azuri doing? And I think that was definitely, like a bit.
Well, as I say, I didn't
a bit ignorant of myself to sort of not take that into account. And
I didn't realise the Azuri matchup into new was as close as it was.
Yeah. And I guess when you watch it, I kind of watched it going, I didn't know, but I'm also slightly not surprised, I guess, because they're both.
I am quite surprised. I think I am surprised because I think, and I think it's not unreasonable to say that Azuri is not hot. I think we were saying like this, and we said this about a couple of heroes that we just didn't think that there would be enough of them represented in the meta to break out through draft. But I think that we have a very talented player who was able to take Azuri to the final, and just the skill was sufficient to break through the field, which is really exciting to see. It's really exciting to see a really talented player bring an off meta hero. So I think we all three of us were kind of like, we didn't think Azuri was hot, but none of us were hating on Azuri. We were all saying it's a good hero because it's Assassin.
But that's
this is the year for Japan, right? I mean,
LSS couldn't have written it better.
No.
Couldn't have written it better. The year that they host, they released the game in Japan, and they got the Japan and they got Osaka, and a Japanese player wins the Pro Tour. Crazy. It's like they couldn't have written it better. It's classic LSS. This happens to them. The company just seems to be blessed sometimes, like getting through COVID.
Am I right in thinking that the winner of the Pro Tour owns an LGS?
Yeah. It was the first
only LGS.
Yeah.
In Japan.
Well, I don't know about Fab only, but it was the first.
Yeah, I think
it is. They only do Fab, or it's the first store that only does Fab. Yeah, it's really cool, really interesting that they decided to specialize in Flesh. But Flesh and Blood apparently really well. We know this, but like Flesh and Blood is huge out in Japan. Really LSS have done really well to break into that market. You think that they had such a success breaking into the US, and now have had such a success breaking into Japan, and obviously they've got Europe. We're always there. we're loyal. We always Europeans always showing up, always turning up. We're getting a bit more attention, getting our Pro Tours now in Amsterdam, and getting Worlds in Barcelona and stuff. We're getting that too.
We've also got another Pro Tour coming up end of March.
Next year,
where that may be, we do not know. But I think, not to sort of glaze over, there's quite, I suppose, a bit to talk about. But let's just say the calling, scene for Zen, it just reinforces that Zen is the best hero in the meta. It was.
It's a strong deck.
It's a
Yeah,
strong
we said
deck.
this as well when we were talking about the bans, and we were all saying at the end of the day, if you don't ban the power card, which is red bonds, Zen is always going to do crazy stuff, and I think I think people they didn't hurt it enough to kill the deck, which is great. They should be doing that. And like when you
There's
need
actually
the
an
most...
argument that they made the deck better because everyone had to consolidate the silly one-off combo that you can do. They go, well, if you don't do that, you actually make a much more consistent deck, and it's actually better. They kind of sped up everyone finding what the deck should have been anyway.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory. I think that's hard to
prove because we will never know.
But I think it also I think it just shows that Zen will be fine without yellow and blue bonds. And like you said, like it's representing really highly. But I think it's also hopefully now in a place where it's, it didn't win the Pro Tour. It can be beat. We're seeing the rise of new. I guess it still did win the calling, so it's hard to say. But I don't think it needs any more.
Well, we'll see what Rosetta does, right? If it
I
seems
think now
to
you've got to
push
wait
through,
so you've got to wait for Rosetta now and just see what happens coming out of that. And
I don't want Zen to be like, oh, he's not relevant. Like he will be, but if he just goes, I push over all these heroes, and basically none of them are going to be seeing play because they just can't deal with Zen or the heroes that deal with Zen, and this is like, well, that's when I think more will be tweaked. But that's just theory crafting.
I think the more interesting conversation is the power level of Mist. 7 out of 8 heroes in the top 8 of the calling, 6 out of 8 heroes in the top 8 of the Pro Tour. I'm sure I'm not of this opinion at the moment. I think it's too early to say, but it's like, are we looking at another Uprising? I don't think that is the case. I think Uprising was insane.
No, Tales of Aria.
Tails is what I mean. I mean Tails.
No, I would actually.
Tails? No way. But
I think this is. I think you called it right.
Maybe closer to Uprising.
Yeah, Uprising was strong.
I think people might. Let me rephrase myself. I think people might say, are we looking at another Tails in terms of power level? No. Are we looking at another Uprising in terms of power level? Yes. Yeah, maybe. Icelander, Drumai, Fi. If we'd left Fi alone, he would have gone as well, but he got nerfed into oblivion, and then he ran out of time before the other aggro decks got there and did it better than he did.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, I think, to see okay, we're looking at heroes that are a bit more powerful. Like we had a bit of a drop in power level, and now we're seeing a little bit of a rise again. Maybe LSS feeling a bit more confident in in raising the power level of the game back up a little bit. And I think that's really interesting.
And I think they've shown good measure in balancing with their ban as well. They could have been way too heavy-handed, but I think they've probably got it about right.
Yeah, okay. They also did a Living Legend format as well, which was, a lot of people are hyping this up. This is getting gassed up. Like, this seems really cool. I have no way to deny this. You got the Living Legend format coming out in your skirmish seasons this season. Worth giving it a go. A lot of people saying there's a lot of fun decks that you can play, and it should be something that I love the theory of you should actually support this more, because if you really actually loved a hero, kind of like Chain, kind of like Briar and Icelander, and so on, a format that never lets your deck die is quite appealing, rather than going, I will just, you could put Flesh and Blood down for a year and come back and go, my hero will never go. Do you know what I mean? I could just always return to this format and it will always be playable. It's quite an interest. I think that's really cool. It's not new. It's always been there. Do you know what I mean? That theory has always been there. But now we get to see it in practice. It feels quite good as well. Although Kano won it because he just 2-turned obliterated a Zen. It's kind of funny that the 2 heroes in it were just CC heroes. But obviously with all the broken stuff in it. Although Kano doesn't have any of the broken stuff. He just has a Kano deck, basically.
Kano can just Kano. I agree with you, Hamish. I think it's one of those formats that I've not really given enough time, but I would quite like to play a bit more Briar again and play a bit more of some of the heroes that have LL'd out, or a bit of Chain again would be nice. And I think it's always nice to know that your hero will have a format, whatever happens to it. If it goes, you'll still be able to play it in some capacity. And I quite like the idea of Living Legend being in Skirmish, because I always see Skirmish as a bit more of a casual format. And if I wanted to play a little bit of Earthbriar and not necessarily win every game, but just have fun playing an old deck that I used to enjoy playing, yeah, that sounds really good. I'm really excited about that, and exploring these new formats that LSS is pushing out.
Okay, we're gonna just run through the keynote parts. So Guardian Master Set, what's your thoughts?
I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that it's quite a lot of sets, but it's not a set I need to buy.
Pretty much.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I think let's give it a go. It's probably what Bright Light should have been. And if it means we don't get sets, this is going to sound a bit harsh, but if it means we don't get sets like Bright Lights in the future, I think it's a great idea. Sorry, people like Bright Lights, but
I think that's probably what they've learned from it, though.
Yeah, I think that's if we can have opportunities to buff classes that don't involve it without making it our draft format for a bit, I'm on board with that.
Cool. So they've also shown off that there's going to be a Pro Tour in Europe again, which is kind of exciting.
Which is great.
End of March, and then APAC.
Where do you think? Yeah, that'll be the next one, and then clearly Worlds is going to be in America.
Worlds is going to be in the US.
Yeah. And where do you think Pro Tour is going to be?
Be in the UK.
I think it's going to be in the UK as well.
I think it may well be the UK.
I would put a chocolate bar down on that.
I'll put a chocolate bar down, and we'll all
London
win it.
or Leeds?
London. I already know it will
be. It has to be London.
Well, I'm not going to say.
I know what I'm saying. That'd be great for me, but
no,
I like it.
No. So I was chatting away with someone
from London or Birmingham.
So there's no giveaway. He definitely wasn't saying where it was, but I just said I basically went up to one of the guys from LSS and said it was an appropriate person. Maybe I'm just not throwing names out. And said, how would you feel? Do you think the UK would ever qualify to be a Pro Tour country? And he went, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. It's 100% worthy to be in a Pro Tour. And I was like, oh, right. It's awesome. Surely you put it in Birmingham, right? Because, NEC, pretty big. And he went, no, it'll be London. And it's purely because the flights from Heathrow, you can get that's a worldwide airport.
It's international.
Airport, Heathrow Airport, Luton Airport, Gatwick Airport, they all can get you into London in 30 to 40 minutes. It's
exactly. And then the hotels around the XL, which would be the place if they were to think of London.
Interesting.
So around there. Apparently the hotel prices are not too bad.
If it was at the XL, I'd just be laughing my way to the bank. I get there in like 20 minutes.
So what? Are you saying that we're going to crash around your house?
No, there's no space for you guys. Nah, you guys could come over. I'll take you out of the town, though. I'll take you to all the best brunch places.
Take us to the London Light District. Anyway,
I am not taking you anywhere near the London Light District. I feel like Amsterdam, it's a tourist thing. London, that is not a tourist thing.
Come on, show me your culture.
That is sleaze.
Anyway, so and then we'll finish off.
But just to say, like, it could also be Poland.
Could be.
I would be surprised if it was Poland either.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I hope it's the UK, of course.
Do you know what? I would have said Germany, but that's only because of
no cash prizes.
No cash prizes in Germany.
Yeah. All right.
So it's always a tricky one.
I know.
Unless they want to give someone a 10,000 Findel Spring Tunics as their.
Well, I remember someone told me about a story, but I think it was Magic, where the person won and they gave them 20 PlayStation 4s. And then there was a vendor, weirdly up for buying 20 PlayStation 4s. I thought that was pretty cool. Right.
That's pretty fun.
Rosetta got revealed. We have now seen the adult versions, which is basically the same as... so Florian had 4 Earth tokens go in the bin. Stuff happens.
Now
adult is 8.
Verdance is the same.
Well, we didn't know what Verdant's hero ability does, and we didn't know what the Lightning Wizard ability does. So, Lightning Wizard, Acilio, 36 health, Lightning Wizard, and his ability is once per instant, discard an instant.
Once per turn.
Once per turn instant, discard an instant, draw a card. I was like,
cycle a card every turn.
Yeah.
Cycle a card.
Good. Pretty good.
Jake Warburton pointed out to me saying he pretty much has a 40 card deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
That sounds really, really good. For potentially a combo hero.
Yeah. We'll see how these combos work out, because I think we get into, because Kano has the ability to do an instant on any point. But going forward, Verdant as well, she has a dump Earth cards into the banish zone. If you have 8 or more, she says, during your turn, if you would heal HP, you will deal 1 arcane damage to a target. That's not like word for word, but in short, on your turn, if you heal, you deal 1 arcane to a target. 40 health, not so hero. Absolute nut. Oh, she's basically not Icelander, but Icelander-ish.
She's just good, right? She's just consistent.
She's just
I don't know
good.
if she's. I feel like Icelander is like.
No, it's not the
Icelander's
same.
It's
But
the
she
tax,
throws
right?
3.
Like, the tax is huge,
But she'll throw some 3 for 7s. I mean, you got to think, like, if you did have those 8 Earth cards in the banish zone, man, like Findel's Fighting Spirit, 3 for 7, heal 1, deal 1 arcane. That's a 3 for 9. Oh, and also,
Well,
Heart
that being said, but Findel's Fighting Spirit relies on you being lower health than the opposition.
Sure,
If
just
you're
take
healing all the time, you won't be.
no, just take the punch to the face. Just go, okay, I'll just take it, and then you hit, and then
she's really. I think she's really fun. I think she's really interesting.
I
think she could be good.
think both the Earth heroes look fun. I'll be honest.
Florin looks insane. Florin's so cool.
Florin looks like
My boy. I want to be
What's that?
him.
You want to make some rune chants? Have an extra.
I want to.
It's Mordred Tide.
You want to make some
embodiments
of Earth? Have another one.
He just walks around with a black rose in his hand. Like, what more do you want, guys?
I know. It looks so.
It's so emo.
Yeah,
this is me. This is what I want to be.
He's goth, man.
Dude. He's great. I love him, and I love his ability.
Oh,
I think he's great.
I just imagine it's like, oh, more dark and twisted.
I'm so dark. You'll never understand me and my rose.
I do laugh that there's a bunch of Kiwis just going, oh, we're gonna have this real gothy guy going, oh, I'm all dark and twisted.
I wish he had a mustache so I could feel even closer.
It's the Shane Gillis guy.
But a great ability, like Mordred Tides.
They printed Go Again.
What?
On Aurora. They printed Go Again.
Yeah, they did, but it's not the same. Is it?
It's a lightning flow type ability, isn't it?
Yeah, so like Briar was play 2 cards, get a lightning token. So you don't pitch anything, you just do your game plan and you get it for free. Prisms is it's not just play the card and it will have Go Again. Chain is, I don't know, just get a Go Again, do what you want. This one is, you've got to play a card and then it will cost you. It is Go Again printed on the card, but it is really heavy in comparison to older sets. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
a little bit more heavy.
Yeah, it's heavier than them.
It's quite heavy, so because you got to play.
You got to play a line.
You got to play a card, and then you got to pay too. Don't get me wrong; it's really good because you can play it at the end of your turn, or you can. It's an instant, so you can play it after you've lost your action points to set yourself up for the next turn. That's really cool. It works with the weapon.
I was going to say, we've now seen the first strike deck as well, and there's some interesting cards in there.
Mm-hmm.
I love. I'm more interested. I gotta say,
the Earth Guardian.
Earth Guardian.
Terror.
I watched the videos
from Free Flame.
The what is it? The one that if you would gain 1, you instead gain
that much
every
plus
time
1.
you would gain 1, you would gain that 1 plus Thrive. I think it is.
Yeah.
And when they pop the 4 might tokens, and then they gain 8. And I was just like, whoa, okay, I see it. You know, when you just like, okay, you see a card, you're like, okay, that looks good. And then you see it in play, you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
You make a bunch of might tokens, you pop that, go hard. It's just a shame it's not going to be in it. It doesn't look like we're getting it.
Well, we don't know. Not yet.
Or
maybe an armory deck.
Something called the armory deck.
Maybe.
Will fix that problem.
Maybe.
I think that hero looks really good. Like, I think Earth Guardian. I really like it. I think Earth's got some good cards. I think I like that ability of being able to just get a might token, use your resources up. I really like that.
It
Obviously,
has.
it's a bit
It really
weird with the
filters.
hammer, but
No, it filters
yeah.
really well because if you go like, I'm just gonna like block up, and then you go, okay, I actually got one spare card. Oh, cool, it's filtered.
Yeah.
Gain I trade this card for it's seismic surge esque. Do you know what I mean? Where you throw a card to get a seismic surge. This is like at the end of the turn, throw a card, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's for your next attack to get +1 instead of it being a vigor. It's a might. You know, seismic surge is a vigor.
There's like Seeds of Strength as well, where it's like, you could all like costs 2 create might tokens, then you can pay 1 to create another might token. That's currently only in yellow, but you never know. We might see that coming in other colors as well. Like it's just a starter deck. It'd be interesting. Some of these cards I think are like, oh, that's really interesting. Oh, but also if this came in red or if it came in blue, now we're looking at a really interesting deck. And
the blue defense
really
reaction
like
that for Earth, interesting in Florian as well, because when you block, you create a might token, and it's Earth, so he can use it, and he'll make 2 might tokens.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like might. I don't seem. I think it's really interesting to see how much Florian could play into the mights. Like, is Florian going to get access to might tokens through his Earth cards? Because, like you say, Hamish, at the moment we're thinking very much Rune Chants, we're thinking very much Mordred Tides, but then it's like, well, what about embodiments of Earth? What about might tokens? What about other tokens that are available to create? Like, what can we? How can this hero ability get really, really, really good?
Clashing.
Looking very good.
Clashing would be fun, especially if you go like clash of like whatever, you know what I mean? And you get, oh, I want that clash, I'll get 2 vigor tokens. So basically at the start of my turn, energy potion.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa. So yeah, no, it's wild. This set looks really, really cool. I'm very excited for this as a player. I think this set is going to be like a slam dunk for me personally. Now, my sort of critique, hot take, got no basis or information to work this on. I'm slightly worried that this won't do anything majorly competitively. Like, I don't think this is going to be as pushed as what MST was. And I think that it's going to be not as bad, like nowhere near as bad, but it's going to have that vibe of the bright lights of the end of the year where you go, this didn't actually do anything. The meta still continue to move forwards without this set. It's going to do some things, but it's not like MST that just went bam. This is
but Hamish, on initial viewing, I think similar to you. However, I then remember all of the elemental cards, yes, it was the heroes that had the hero abilities, but
and they're absolutely cooked as hell weapons. That was so beyond busted. It was unreal.
There are some wacky cards out there, and Runeblade and Wizard have. They are big classes. They have a lot of cards at their display. Like, people will find the way to make these heroes relevant. And I'm not saying they'll be the best decks in the meta, but I reckon they will be pretty good hunter decks.
But I will say that the Earth and Lightning cards in Tales of Aria, apart from Channel Mountain Heroic, they were not really the cards that were like making everyone go holy schmoly. It was all the ice cards that was making everything go like, Jesus, the ice cards are ludicrous. The Earth cards are fine. The only bad Lightning card, which is now banned, is Ball Lightning.
I think it's more the Runeblade. Just the Runeblade package is insane.
No, but I think we're also forgetting that Briar had the best of both worlds of Earth and Lightning. What happens if you made a Lightning only Briar?
We did that. It was pretty good.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Lightning only Briar. She basically
originally
she didn't.
It was pretty good.
But yeah, she had a hero ability that just went. I don't really care about these elements. Like, that was the weirdest bit.
Without Channel Mount Heroic, it loses a lot of power, and obviously Florian has access to Channel Mount Heroic, but doesn't have the go again, or doesn't seem to have the go again.
So
and Aurora has access to cards like Swarming Gloomveil and Revel in Moonblood, but then doesn't have the Channel Mount Heroic for those insane turns like Briar had, and like obviously
but you
Aurora
guys
wants
are
to go really
talking
wide. But
right now, you guys are talking about aggro. Like, I wonder whether one of these Earth heroes is going to turn out
Oh,
to
yeah.
be a bit of a
That's what I'm basically
masterpiece,
saying.
right?
I think that Florian has a lot of potential to tap into those Runeblade cards and to be utilizing some of these.
He's going to be good. No,
playoffs,
I'm not going to say these guys are going to be bad. They're going to be good. They're going to come out and do some very strong strategies. But I just don't know if those strategies are going to deal with what the meta is currently doing now, because
it's a fair question.
I mean,
I really want to know what Florian's weapon is as well. I think we've seen Runeblade weapons be pretty pushed in the past, and I think it'd be really interesting to see what Florian ends up using. If Florian's able to get like two attacks per turn, I think it's going to be nuts. So, but at the moment, it looks like he's going to be able to do like one big attack a turn. But some of these Earth cards are insane. Like some of the things we've seen are insane. The graveyard setup is the banner setup and the graveyard setup is really interesting. I think it's going to be fascinating. Like I agree, you say, Hamish, remains to be seen. Remains some really powerful decks with Zen. Zen is just a level of aggression that some decks just can't deal with that. But we'll have to see.
And the only ones that can deal with it are ones that are just insane disruption. And this set is 2 classes and 2 talents that are not really that disruptive. It's not ice.
No. Ice is disruption.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyway.
Oh, we didn't even we've run out of time. We didn't even talk about the fact there's 2 cards on every card now, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, there are.
That
happened. That was
now you're gonna rip your cards in half.
That was the UV pen moment of the set. Like, that happened.
Right, thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you made it through. If you skipped over the middle bit, you probably made the right decision. If you didn't, if you need help, talk to a friend. And we'll see you on the next one, I guess.
It wasn't that bad. Right, see you later.
Bye.